Tonight, off-duty Ottawa firefighter who just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
And I told him, I said, I'm a first responder. I'm going to put a tourniquet on your leg to help stop the bleeding.
More on how this weekend started with life-saving action. CTV's Katie Griffin has this exclusive. The provincial war on drugs targeting use on public transit.
They have other jobs, and it would be adding to the work that they have without probably proper training.
The Ford government tries to put a stop on wild rides by giving special constables new powers. Plus, 4 Canadians on a cruise potentially facing a virus that goes well beyond seasickness.
What's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
The rodent-borne illness suspected of claiming 3 lives as the company looks for a diplomatic lifeline to help those now in urgent need of medical care. Good evening. Patricia is away tonight. We begin with our exclusive story of an off-duty firefighter who was in the right place at the right time. He's being credited with helping to save the life of a pedestrian struck by a vehicle in Centertown ahead of the weekend. CTV's Katie Griffin is live with the details. Katie.
Well, Stefan, the vehicle went up on the sidewalk, striking the pedestrian and crashing into a building. Jason Murray was nearby and saw people running to the scene. His training kicked in, and he happened to have a tourniquet in his backpack that was urgently needed to treat the pedestrian.
So this is the backpack that I was wearing on Friday.
Jason Murray was downtown Friday afternoon when he came upon a chaotic scene.
The car had smashed through the glass, and on the ground in front of the vehicle was a young man that was holding his leg.
A vehicle had struck a pedestrian and crashed into a building at Laurier Avenue and O'Connor Street. The off-duty firefighter knew he had to act fast.
Put down my backpack, and on my backpack I happened to have a tourniquet. And I told him, I said, I'm a first responder. I'm going to put a tourniquet on your leg to help stop the bleeding.
It worked. As a first aid instructor, he'd been carrying a tourniquet in his backpack for more than a decade. He called on others to help.
2 people went off and got first aid kits and brought those back. Another person went out and got some cloths to help with the wound. And I got him to focus on holding that pressure. And I'll say he was very calm based on the circumstance.
Ottawa police have charged the driver with careless driving causing bodily harm under the Highway Traffic Act.
So this is a call where every second mattered. And even though firefighters were first on scene 2 minutes after the initial 911 call, the work that our off-duty firefighter did assessing and treating the patient bought our firefighters the time they needed for when they arrived. And it's ultimately saved a life that day.
It really says a lot that the community sort of comes together in these times and sees somebody that needs help, and everyone tried to contribute in the way that they could.
Even with his experience and training, Murray says he felt a difference responding unexpectedly to an emergency off-duty.
There's calmness when you respond as a crew, and it's a little bit of a different feeling to certainly be the first person there, and what decisions you make will significantly impact how that person's sort of day finishes. So I'm just happy that I could play a helpful part and a positive outcome.
And we're told the man is doing okay given the circumstances. Murray says he hasn't spoken to him but wishes him well in his recovery. Firefighters say this is a reminder about the importance of knowing first aid and being willing to jump in and help. Stefan?
Lucky indeed. CTV's Katie Griffin with the exclusive details tonight. Thank you, Katie.
Welcome.
The federal government's return to office mandate is entering a new phase today. Executives can no longer work from home, but there are questions about whether there's enough office space. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us live with more on this. Dylan.
Yeah, Stefan, as of today, all executives in the federal public service will be required to work on site 5 days per week. Currently, all other federal workers are only required to be in office 3 days a week, but that's set to change in the coming months as well. Federal employee Andrew Cormack isn't an executive in the government, but he's at the office regardless.
Yeah, I choose to come in 3 days a week right now, following kind of like the official ruling.
As of Monday, all executives in the public service are required to work in the office 5 days a week as the federal government continues to call its employees back to the workplace, citing a need to boost collaboration and culture.
I think everyone works differently, but you got to look at the value added coming into the office and whether it's there for you or not.
The return to office mandate will see more than 9,300 executives back in the office full time. In a statement, the Association of Professional Executives of the Public Service of Canada says executives are concerned about the lack of office space and the pressure of leading employees during continuous workplace change. As of July 6th, all other federal employees will be required to work in the office 4 days a week, up from the current 3 days.
I rarely personally see, I do interact with people at the office, but it's a very minimal basis. And the majority of my time collaborating with my teammates is just through Teams.
For me, I think 3 days a week, 2 days a week would be a happy medium. 4 days might be overkill, but that's just my personal experience.
The push to bring workers back to the office creating concerns over desk space and parking.
Mentally preparing for it, not excited about it, but I know it's happening.
I think one thing I'm not for is an umbrella, one-size-fits-all kind of approach to RTO.
On the heels of all this, the Public Service Alliance of Canada says it is currently negotiating a new contract for more than 120,000 public servants. PSAC has called the latest offer from the government insulting, saying the proposal amounts to a less than 1% increase per year. Stefan.
CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting live for us. Thank you, Dylan. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the contract negotiations and the return to office mandate. The Ontario government plans to expand the powers of special constables on public transit in an effort to stop open drug use on buses and trains. A proposed law would allow transit officials to seize drugs, give tickets, or even make an arrest. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live in studio with the details. Natalie.
Stefan, the City of Ottawa already has special constables on transit, but this proposed legislation would greatly expand their role.
It's a problem the Ontario government believes has become too common. Open drug use on trains, buses, and transit stations. Transit user Sharon Martineau thinks so too.
It's really bad. It's getting worse. Terrified, especially for my children.
The Ford government is proposing new legislation that would give transit special constables the authority to issue tickets or even make arrests if people were using drugs illegally on transit.
And when they happen in the enclosed space of a bus, a streetcar, or a subway train, they are often even worse. Unacceptable that people do not feel safe where they live, work, and on their daily commutes.
Ottawa Council has already endorsed this proposed legislation.
I hear a lot from people in my community about this issue. I hear about it frequently in my inbox. And I think we have to keep in mind that most people who are taking public transit, especially in Ward 12, don't really have options to take a car.
Ottawa's chief safety officer says the city will work with the province to implement the changes and plan additional training for staff. Some riders who agree drugs are a problem wonder whether this is the right approach.
I don't think that they're equipped with whatever, the knowledge or the training probably. Like they have other jobs and it would be adding to the work that they have.
Not sure about a ticket. I mean, how can you really ticket someone who has already lost everything in their life and who doesn't care about if you give them a ticket?
That would be a good thing if they can make some difference on that.
For Ottawa councillors who support the plan, they just want to make the system safer and improve ridership.
We want to increase our ridership. We want people to use our public transit. So this is one of the ways which we can better achieve those goals.
Earlier this year, OC Transpo General Manager Troy Charter told councillors that complaints about drug use are common, particularly at Rideau Station in downtown Ottawa. Stefan.
CTV's Natalie Van Roy reporting live for us. Thank you, Natalie. Still ahead, 3 Ottawa youngsters recognized not for what they did in school, but for their response in a crisis. How bravery after dialing 911 is being honored. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now is 21 degrees. And with a first check on weather, let's head over to Jackie. Jackie, you can see that wind gust really shaking that camera there.
Absolutely, Stefan. Wind gusts are up to 50 kilometers per hour right now. It is expected to taper down a little bit into the overnight, but we are going to be in for a couple of quite windy days. Temperature-wise, though, pretty nice, 20 degrees around really most of eastern Ontario. Slightly cooler along the Seaway. Kingston around 13 degrees. degrees, but there is no sign of precipitation moving into the overnight either. Partly cloudy skies is what we're anticipating. 13 degrees for that overnight low, but you can see that we are going to continue those gusts up to 40 kilometers per hour, at least for here in Ottawa. 19 degrees with a chance of showers anticipated in the early part of our day, so you definitely want to bring the umbrella. This is going to likely move through around the 9 o'clock hour. We'll get a full look at this and your long-term forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. Panic at sea tonight amid a suspected outbreak of a rare but deadly virus on board a cruise ship. 3 people are dead, several are ill, and 4 Canadians are among the nearly 150 passengers and crew now trapped on the vessel. CTV's John Venevali-Rao has the very latest.
Deck 4 is where the lobby is.
In a video posted at the start of the voyage, an American travel blogger took his followers on a tour of the cruise ship, now stuck, unable to dock and to unload passengers amid a suspected hantavirus outbreak.
And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
In a new tearful video, the blogger talks about the fears on board after 3 passengers died.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part.
Among the 149 on the ship are 4 Canadians, currently anchored off the coast of the capital of Cabo Verde, where officials won't allow the cruise ship to dock to, quote, protect public health.
It's one of those diseases that at the moment there's no specific treatment to cure the disease after someone becomes infected, and there isn't also a vaccine available to prevent people from getting infected.
The ship was on a cruise from Argentina and stopping at remote islands in the South Atlantic. 3 weeks ago, a 70-year-old Dutch passenger died, and after leaving the ship, so did his wife. Then a British man evacuated to this hospital in South Africa tested positive for hantavirus. And a 3rd German passenger died on Saturday. 2 crew members still on board also have acute respiratory symptoms and will be removed for medical care. Hantaviruses are rare, mainly transmitted through contact with rodents or their droppings. It's what killed the wife of actor Gene Hackman last year. Symptoms can take weeks to appear, and human-to-human transmission is not common.
So it's very rare for hantaviruses. In fact, the only hantaviruses that are known to cause human-to-human transmission originate from South America, and in particular areas like Argentina.
In a statement, a WHO official stressed the risk to the wider public remains low. There is no need for panic or travel restrictions.
Meanwhile, experts say there are only, on average, about 4 to 5 cases of hantavirus in Canada each year, typically linked to rodent exposures in rural parts of the western provinces. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Several people from Cornwall and Montreal are facing dozens of charges after a major drug trafficking investigation. The investigation involved the Ontario Provincial Police and Sûreté de Quebec. Police executed search warrants at homes in Cornwall and Montreal in April and seized an estimated $4.1 million of illegal drugs, including fentanyl and cocaine. 13 people, including 3 from Cornwall, are facing a total of 115 charges. And 2 25-year-olds are facing dozens of charges in connection with a string of break-ins at businesses right across the nation's capital. Ottawa police launched the investigation in February after multiple reports of thefts of electronics, cosmetics, perfumes, and cannabis. 2 suspects were arrested last Thursday and are facing a total of 75 charges. The community is coming together to mourn the loss of the crossing guard who was struck and killed in Barrhaven back in March. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe met with Peter Clark's widow, Amanda Clark, today. He presented her with the city flag that flew at half-mast at City Hall following Clark's death. And Amanda Clark also attended a vigil in honor of her late husband in Barrhaven yesterday, where family and friends reflected on the impact Peter Clark had on their neighborhood. The 19-year-old charged in connection to the fatal crash pleaded guilty to 1 charge, but not guilty to dangerous operation causing death. Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to announce Canada's next Governor General tomorrow. Sources confirmed to CTV News the announcement will be made on Tuesday. It's not known who will be replacing current Governor General Mary Simon. Her term is set to end this summer. She became the first Indigenous person to serve as representative of the monarch in July of 2021. The federal government says help is on the way for steel and aluminum producers. It's launching a $1 billion loan program for businesses hurt by President Donald Trump's tariffs. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on how the loan will work and who will benefit.
For 14 months, steel, aluminum, and copper companies have been trying not to fold under the pressure of punishing tariffs from the U.S. It's been tough for companies like Rock, which makes dump bodies for dump trucks.
90% of what we manufacture crosses the border. So for us, what's happening is really critical to our business.
And many are hoping for an end to the trade war, but even senior cabinet ministers can't say if or when that will be.
You don't know, I don't know. So this is not up to us to answer that question because these decisions will be taken south of our border.
It's why the federal government is announcing a new $1 billion loan program for companies affected by the tariffs. The 3-year loans will be worth between $2 and $50 million, with the first year being interest-free.
Short term, our goal is to provide liquidities to companies in order for them to keep their workers.
Conservatives say loans aren't the answer.
We were reading this announcement today very concerned that there is no deal coming at all, and the Liberals have said nothing to the contrary.
Canada's Auditor General hasn't seen details of this loan program, but in 2024, Karen Hogan's report was critical of pandemic-era business loans, saying those programs lacked value for money. And she hopes that mistake isn't repeated.
So I would expect that any loan program would have a goal and an objective, and that the government would set itself out at the beginning, at the start, as they design this, to have a way to measure value for money and outcomes for Canadians.
The government says there will be a process and scope for approving the loans with additional follow-up. Minister Jolie added the government is working on similar relief for the forestry and softwood lumber sectors. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
In other news, Costco is looking to build a new gas station in the city's East End. The retailer has filed an application with the City of Ottawa to build a station at the Costco Wholesale Business Centre on Searville Road. The plan is to build 18 pumps immediately and another 6 in the future. The gas station would be built in the parking lot, which would mean 125 fewer spots. And IKEA wants to install a giant digital billboard at its store on Ira Street. The LED screen would be on the outside wall of the store facing Highway 417. The screen would use a light sensor to vary brightness for day and night. City councillors will have to approve the installation. The Canadian Tire Centre is getting set to host the Ottawa Charge later this week for their first home game of the playoff series. The Charge posted this time-lapse video to social media. It shows workers removing the Ottawa Senators logo from center ice and replacing it with the Charge logo. The team is facing the Boston Fleet in their PWHL playoff series, currently tied at 1 game apiece. The Charge will play their playoff home games at the CTC, starting with Game 3 on Friday, followed by Game 4 on Sunday. Coming up, 3 Ottawa children receive awards for their quick thinking and bravery that help save lives. Jackie.
Well, we are taking a look at what we can expect for tomorrow here in Ottawa. Going to be a warm start to the day, 14 degrees. The chance of showers will likely continue into the afternoon, so you want the umbrella close by. Keep in mind, we do have those wind gusts up to 40, at some points 60 kilometers per hour, depending on where you are in eastern Ontario. Daytime high anticipated 17, 18 degrees. Now, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where right now it's 20 degrees and the camera not shaking as much as what we saw. Oh, there's a little bit of it. Again, those wind gusts still carrying us into later this evening.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
Where foodies love their sweets.
And markets bursting with flavor.
Wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud.
Woo! And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Welcome back to CTV News at 6. Traffic volume on Highway 417 easing this hour. We were seeing heavy backups, especially in the westbound lanes, but that volume is lightening. We're seeing moderate to medium traffic volume at this time. Traffic moving well in both directions around Bronson. The city is recognizing 3 young heroes who took action when it mattered most. Each child received an award today for responding with bravery in a crisis and calling 911. Here's CTV's Josh Morano.
When 11-year-old Kailey Nathoo's grandfather fell and hit his head, she knew she needed to act fast and be brave.
When you're calling 911, don't hesitate. You just have to do it.
On the other line, a dispatcher who helped Nathoo stay calm and asked questions before help arrived.
They're explaining to me what to do and to get a cloth to put on my grandpa's head to put on the cut.
She was calm, cool, and collected, like a lot of people are not in that kind of situation. But she followed the directions very well.
A scary situation for Nathoo until first responders arrived, but her parents say they're proud their daughter knew who to call.
She was able to call 911 and she knew she needed to help. So we're so proud of her that she was able to do that.
That bravery being recognized by the city at the Children's 911 Achievement Awards, honoring Nathoo, 12-year-old Chrisley Dana Julsaint, and 11-year-old Reem Ahmad Hasan for their quick thinking during an emergency.
I was pretty scared and nervous, but I decided to stay calm.
Julsaint called after her cousin fainted while at a birthday party.
They were telling me like instructions and telling me like what to do, and then I was following and listening closely so I could actually save her life.
And Ahmad Hasan dialed 911 after she noticed her 5-year-old sister having trouble breathing.
My sister has an asthma.
Staying on the phone with paramedics, translating for her mother.
My English has improved and like I know what to say all the time. I'm gonna like answer all the questions so easily.
The award recognizes youth ages 12 and under who effectively used 911 in a crisis.
They were also not only able to call 911, but to tell us where they are, what is going on, answer our dispatchers' questions.
Nathoo hopes her bravery will help other kids if they need to call 911 in an emergency.
If you don't call, maybe they can't get the help that they need or that you need, and you need to call so you can get the right help.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
Young bravery, love to see it. It's a beautiful start to the work week in Ottawa. Mild temperatures and sunny skies over at the Nepean Sailing Club earlier today. Hopefully you had a chance to enjoy the weather because Jackie's going to let us know there are some showers on the way. Right, Jackie?
Thank you for that intro, Stefan. Yes, we'll say goodbye to the sunshine for a little bit. You might see a little bit of sunshine in the early part of the morning, but it's going to be very brief. Sunshine will probably disappear by the time we get to the noon hour, maybe even earlier, because we are anticipating some precipitation and cloudy skies moving through. Right now, though, 20 degrees. We've got those heavy winds moving through. It's calmed down a little bit. We're closer to about 28 kilometers per hour. Tonight's lows, fairly clear skies for here in Ottawa, 13 in here, not just here in Ottawa, but Cornwall as well, about 12 degrees in Brockville. So you see partly cloudy skies for the most part, really throughout eastern Ontario. But tomorrow is a different story. This is a stretch along the seaway that could see a risk of thunderstorm moving through. We are expected some chance of showers moving in through Ottawa as well. 18, 19 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. Most of this should be coming in the early part of the day, but we are keeping a close eye on this, including the heavy winds moving through. So overnight hours, we could see average between 20 and 30 kilometers per hour. In the morning, though, or especially around Cornwall, you can see winds picking up around 40 kilometers per hour. It will continue like this for most of the morning and really pick up for most of eastern Ontario. You can see a lot of that green moving in as well, about 50 kilometers per hour for most of the area, really by Tuesday afternoon. And this is expected to calm down closer to Tuesday evening. So we are in for some heavy winds for our Tuesday. Now, right now in Atlantic Canada, cool in St. John's, 6 degrees, but it's double digits in Fredericton and Charlottetown and Halifax, around 10, 11 degrees. The warm up really is around Windsor and Toronto, where we're seeing 23-degree weather. That's coming from the Midwest, but things are much cooler in the prairies, about 7 degrees in Saskatoon, 5 degrees in Regina. Calgary still in the cooler double digits, 12 degrees, but Vancouver is sunny and at 22 degrees. Now, in terms of the conditions for tomorrow, it is going to be clear for the afternoon, even into our Wednesday morning. There is a little bit of activity along the seaway as temperatures are going to be fairly cool, maybe even a chance of some isolated showers as well moving in. But we will have one day where there are single digits that will be moving through this week. Now, this 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. That single digit day, yeah, that will be Wednesday. We're only getting to a daytime high of 9 degrees, and you can see the chance of showers fairly strong for our Tuesday and Wednesday. Between the 2 days, the radar showing we are going to see between about 5 to 10 millimeters of rain moving through. So it won't be until Thursday, Stefan, that we could see 14 degrees and sunshine. Searching for a gift that will brighten mom's world? Well, we have your chance to make your mom's moment extra special this Mother's Day. Whether it's personalized gems, a diamond bracelet, or the perfect pendant to wear close to her heart, every mom deserves some sparkle in her life. Submit a photo of you and your mom at ctvottawa.ca to be entered into the grand prize draw of a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Center. Wishing you the best of luck.
All right, so I have a special request. You know, only double-digit daytime highs next week because that 9-degree didn't make me smile.
I will make note of this, but Thursday, sunshine, 14 degrees. Yeah. Maybe with that sun, it'll get closer to about 18 degrees.
Yeah, we'll keep it going, keep it rising. Thank you, Jackie. Turning to Queen's Park, where the Ontario legislature is back in session this week, the Premier is putting focus on his efforts to protect the economy after public outrage over a string of recent controversies. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has more.
In a breakfast speech in front of a business crowd.
We need to make the decisions that will protect our workers.
In question period.
It's an economic driver. That's what our focus is. Great to see everyone today.
And in celebrating the growth of a pharmaceutical firm in downtown Toronto.
Our government is proud to partner with Sanofi by providing up to $5 million in support of this expansion.
The Premier tried to stay focused on the economy. But in his first news conference in nearly 2 weeks, Doug Ford continued to face questions about recent changes to freedom of information, a private jet, and his slipping poll numbers.
I think the media is a little obsessed with it, but polls go up and down. Again, I hate to ruin your day, but if the election was held today, I'd end up with a fourth majority government.
With FOI changes keeping the Premier's cell phone records secret, Ford confirms information has been sent to the RCMP as they investigate the government's removal of land from the Greenbelt.
I don't get involved with it personally, but anything anyone has asked of us, be it the Integrity Commissioner or anyone else, we've sent them all the records. But again, that's quite some time ago. It's been a few years. We're moving forward on the economy.
Not good enough for the opposition leader who's promising to call a public inquiry.
Maybe you won't get another mandate because you'll be in prison, Doug.
Marit Stiles dismissive when asked if she's crossed a line with language that evokes Donald Trump's infamous call to lock Hillary Clinton up.
I don't know, you know, I feel like I've said before that I think this premier is corrupt. I think he's made some dirty deals.
There's been no major update from the Mounties since the Greenbelt investigation was launched.
I just want to come clean with what happened in the Greenbelt, come clean with what happened in the Skills Development Fund. Let's just start there.
People deserve honest answers about what the premier did. Did he break the law? Because everything about the Greenbelt scandal smells.
At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Just ahead, a disaster narrowly avoided. A passenger plane crashes into a truck while landing at Newark Airport. Stay with us.
Tonight, panic from passengers after a deadly cruise ship outbreak.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part.
The stranded Canadians and what we know about the rare rodent virus. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Prime Minister Mark Carney used his short trip to Armenia to announce Canada is sending more military aid to Ukraine. He also had pointed words about the rules-based order being rebuilt in Europe. CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson is traveling with the PM.
Prime Minister, I began the meeting.
Prime Minister Mark Carney announced more aid for Ukraine's war with Russia, another $270 million.
You have all of Canada behind you, standing with the people of Ukraine.
Bringing Canada's total contributions to the war to over $25 billion. The munitions for Ukraine will come from the United States, despite pressure because of the Iran war. Carney says the Americans will be able to meet Ukraine's needs.
It's a question of financing and getting them there.
we're doing that. We're getting them there. That's the first point. Second, we had made a commitment earlier this year in February, $2.4 billion for Ukraine, Canadian. So this is part of that overall commitment. We're continuing to provide it. It's part of a bigger puzzle in a conflict where Ukraine is gaining some advantage.
Carney is the first non-European leader to be invited here. The European political community was established after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022.
It's my strong personal view that as the international order will be rebuilt, but it will be rebuilt out of Europe.
Antonio Costa is the president of the European Council. He says Carney's Davos speech, where he called on like-minded countries to band together in uncertain times, is part of the reason Carney was invited here.
Canada is one of the closest countries in the world to Europe. It's the most like-minded country, and we share a same vision of the world.
This is the Spanish national shirt.
This was a short visit with just under 30 hours on the ground in Armenia. Despite some criticism from opposition, Carney says this kind of direct engagement is critical for Canada.
The importance of alliances with reliable partners, deepening those alliances has become ever more so.
This deeper connection between Canada and Europe will continue. Mark Carney has the G7 coming up in the south of France in June. He was also asked to speak to the European Parliament sometime in the future, which he immediately agreed to. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Yerevan, Armenia.
In tonight's Big Picture, a terrifying moment at a U.S. airport. A United Airlines flight collided with a light post and truck on a highway while attempting to land at Newark yesterday. And the moment was caught on the truck's dash cam. You can see the driver notice something is wrong before a loud whistle goes off. The truck is then hit by the Boeing 767, which somehow went on to land at Newark Airport. According to the FAA, all 231 passengers and crew were uninjured. Incredibly, the driver of the truck suffered just minor injuries and has been released from hospital. An investigation into how this could have happened is underway. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. Ottawa's mayor is announcing the next step in his pledge to end youth homelessness.
The Champions Table will mobilize influential leaders and funders across sectors to accelerate progress toward ending youth homelessness in Ottawa by 2030.
The Champions Table will include MP Mona Fortier, Ottawa Public Health, CHEO, and United Way East Ontario, along with other organizations. Mayor Sutcliffe has a goal of raising $100,000 this year to help end youth homelessness. He says he will be raising money during Ottawa Race Weekend. A groundbreaking ceremony today marking the start of construction of the National Monument to Canada's mission in Afghanistan. It will be built at LeBreton Flats and will recognize the commitment and sacrifice of thousands of Canadians who served in Afghanistan, including 158 Canadians who lost their lives there between 2001 and 2014. The monument is expected to be completed in late 2028.
Last year, 100,000 people came through the doors, and we really felt that there was enough buy-in that, this was the right time to really stress that baseball is back in Ottawa, and it's not just here to stay, but it really is in full swing, and you need to be a part of it.
The Ottawa Titans are getting set for their new season, starting with the sold-out home opener this Friday at the Ottawa Baseball Stadium. It will be the first sellout at the stadium since 2002. The Titans are also planning new promotions, themed games, and fan experiences for the upcoming season.
Usually we are booked by now, and now the challenge is trying to book up summer, which is the prime time.
Coming up, a look at how high gas prices are impacting Canadians' summer road trip plans.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
A ceremony took place at City Hall this afternoon ahead of Red Dress Day. Today's event was held by the Ottawa Aboriginal Coalition and featured presentations, stories, and artwork. May 5th is a National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. Since the war in Iran began, the price of gas has gone up more than 50 cents a litre. And that is forcing many Canadians to cancel not just overseas vacations, but also summer road trips. CTV's Adrian Gobriel reports.
While some cross-border travel may be taking a back seat this summer, Canadians are also steering their road trip plans in a different direction. This study released by the Tire and Rubber Association of Canada shares that 66% of Canadians say high gas prices are prompting them to cancel or limit their road trips this summer.
Is there any way you can give me a discount? Gas is really expensive. We have to travel 3 hours or 2 hours.
There's also early indicators that the painful price at the pumps may be affecting summer vacation rentals. Peter Guntunis rents out 2 sprawling 8-bedroom lodges 2 hours north of Toronto near Blue Mountain. Each place sleeps up to 20 people. In years past, he had little to no summer vacancy. This year shaping up to be a different story.
Usually we are booked by now, and now the challenge is trying to book up summer, which is the prime time.
Do you believe that the price of gas is changing consumer habits, especially at your rental property?
We still have vacancy, and other cottages up there have vacancies as well, which is kind of strange. So for sure, people are not traveling. It's expensive.
What is your big concern here?
My concern is not being fully booked. We count on being booked the whole year. You know, Blue Mountain, for example, is a 4-season accommodation place. They have events going on all the time, and if we can't fill up those dates, it's not good.
Peter Guntunis tells us if his bookings don't start filling up soon, he could be out tens of thousands of dollars. One other observation he shared is that historically guests would arrive in up to 10 vehicles for his 20-person chalets. They're now coming in about 4 cars as they carpool and try and save money at the gas station. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
It's an unexpected offer. A company that sells video games is looking to get into a different kind of retail business. BNN Bloomberg's Mirella Fernandez has those details.
Video game retailer GameStop wants to buy eBay. It made a cash and stock offer of about $55.5 billion US for the e-commerce platform. GameStop has been trying to find new revenue streams since consumers have turned away from brick stores to buy games online. GameStop is a U.S. $11 billion company. eBay is a U.S. $48 billion company. It says it has received the offer and its board will review it. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.46. West Texas Intermediate up over $4 to 106.42. Western Canadian Select is down over $3 to 78.67. And the TSX lost 252 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Mirella Fernandez.
So easy to just pop open a cold can and chug it.
Just ahead, details on a new investigation into the dangers of energy drinks, especially for teenagers.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Energy drinks have been around for decades, but they've recently become more popular, especially with teenagers. But as CTV's Pat Foran reports, sometimes they can do more harm than good.
Energy drinks are colorful, sweet, and hugely popular with young people, now an important warning for parents. A new Consumer Reports investigation finds what's inside those drinks may be more than you're bargaining for. Energy drinks are everywhere these days. Many of them look like sports hydration drinks and taste like candy.
They have flavors like Jolly Rancher flavor and sour gummy worms. It's so easy to just pop open a cold can and chug it.
But inside that can is often a jolt of caffeine that can be far from harmless. Researchers found many drinks contain 2 to 3 times the daily caffeine limit recommended for teens, which is 100 milligrams. Too much caffeine has been linked to insomnia, anxiety, jitters, and heart-related symptoms, and teens may be especially vulnerable. To find out exactly what's in these drinks, Consumer Reports tested 23 popular energy drinks and shots.
We wanted to see how much caffeine is actually in the product.
The results, most drinks came close to or matched their labels, but some had up to 16% more caffeine than advertised. The American Beverage Association, an industry trade group, says parents should be in the driver's seat when it comes to what their children have for beverages. So what can parents do? Check labels, track total caffeine from all sources, and pay attention to sleep, because using caffeine to fight fatigue can create a cycle that's hard to break. The bottom line, when it comes to energy drinks and teens, even one can be too much. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Coming up, Pedaling for a Cure will share how much money was raised for cancer research at this year's CN Cycle for CHEO. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Maybe a couple days before we see bouts of sunshine move in. Tuesday, 60% chance that we could see some showers. This will carry on into our Wednesday and say goodbye to the double-digit temperatures. We're going to get down back to 9 degrees, but it'll get back up to 14 degrees for Thursday with lots of sunshine. So stay tuned for our Thursday. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam where, yes, it's 20 degrees right now on this spring Monday. I could start to see the sun slowly setting. Again, official sunset was closer to about 8:15 this evening.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, Jeff Leeper stops by to chat about his run to be mayor of Ottawa. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Coming up tonight on CTV in just a few minutes, as soon as we're done here, E-Talk starts at 7. Then back-to-back episodes of The Big Bang Theory at 7:30. Hockey Fanatics begins at 8:30. The Quiz with Balls at 9 and The Rookie at 10. Here's a recap of the top stories we're following right now.
It was cut pretty bad by the glass, and so we used one of those terry cloths to hold pressure on the wound, and I got him to focus on holding that pressure.
An Ottawa firefighter shares his story of jumping into action while off duty. He is being credited with helping to save the life of a pedestrian struck by a vehicle last week.
I do interact with people at the office, but it's a very minimal basis.
Executives in the federal public service can no longer work from home as the government expands its back-to-office mandate.
It would be adding to the work that they have without probably proper training.
The Ontario government plans to give public transit special constables the power to make arrests as it looks to crack down on drug use on buses and trains. Now for a final check on the weather forecast, Jackie's joining us. I hear there's rain tomorrow, windy today, but we're seeing double-digit daytime highs.
We'll still see those double digits, Stefan, but again, those wind gusts making it a little bit cooler. So 14 degrees, again, wind gusts between 30 to 60 kilometers when you head out the door. Yes, there is a chance of showers moving through. We will likely see this closer to that 9 o'clock hour. So you can see a little bit of that yellow and orange as well, moving through fairly quickly. Again, those winds going to make it move fairly quickly. We are anticipating between 1 to 5 millimeters of rain moving through for our Tuesday. 19 degrees, the daytime high. Wednesday, we will likely see similar in terms of conditions, so chance of showers, but the temperature, quite that 10-degree difference. 9 degrees, the anticipated daytime high for Wednesday. Then things will warm up by the time Thursday rolls around 14 and sunshine. We are eyeing Friday, though, 12 degrees. That's going to be the Titans home opener, Stefan. That's also the Ottawa Charge as well at the CTC.
Busy.
So, again, still spring-like conditions.
Definitely. And it was a beautiful day yesterday for this final event we're going to be talking about. Thousands of people biked across Ottawa yesterday to help raise money for CHEO. Look at all that sunshine, Jackie, and blue skies. More than 6,000 cyclists and walkers participated in the 19th annual CN Cycle for CHEO. 19 years already, emceed by our own Austin Lee. The event raised nearly $2.2 million, which will be used to support vital care and groundbreaking cancer research at the Children's Hospital. Again, thank you, Jackie, for that gorgeous day, for all these do-gooders raising some money for CHEO.
I will take credit for that. I have covered that CHEO in previous years.
Yeah.
It was rainy, super cold, but everyone had such wonderful spirits and smiles on their faces.
I'll give you credit for that because I made you be the bearer of bad rain news. So I got to give you something. Thanks. Thanks for watching, everyone.